Where does your concern for the Palestinians and this issue come from?
Okay, so when you live in Oklahoma, it's very white, at least where I live. There is a black part of town. It's still very segregated. You don't really know what's going on in the Middle East. And I don't mean for this to sound dismissive, but you don't care either. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny Jewish community. There's no Muslims at all. The zero Muslim population. So I fell prey to probably some ambient Islamophobia, also having a default setting of not liking religion. So when it was told to me that Israel's a democracy and they're our ally, I was like, okay, yeah, that's great. We need to fight for abortion in Oklahoma. We need to fight for abortion rights. I was fighting more immediate civil rights in these horrible red states. And so when we went to the DNC, which was so cool for us to get invited to the DNC, we went every day. And I was so focused on helping Kamala get elected. I would walk in and there were all these peaceful protesters, Palestine. I would walk out. And I'm a little bit ashamed to admit this to you, but I think atonement and purging is a therapeutic thing. I was irritated by them. I thought they are going to f this up for us.
The uncommitted movement.
Yes.
The Palestinian protests.
And why aren't they doing this at, the RNC and blah, blah. But I just thought everybody's going to pull together and vote for Kamala. There's no way he can win. Well, after she lost, I was like, your mother taught you to be curious. You need to dive into this thing. My husband always said, I don't know what's going on in Israel and Palestine, but I just know every fucking politician I hate supports Israel. Ted Cruz. That's the way. He's a criminal defense lawyer.
That's actually a pretty good way of judging an issue.
Lindsey Graham. He goes, I just know that.
Do you want to be on the same side as Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham?
So that was his take on it. So I really started researching about it. Like, how did Israel become a country? I didn't fucking know. I didn't care. And I know that's terrible to say, but when you live in a red state, you're so focused on domestic politics.
As critical as I'm of red state, this is not a red state issue. This is an America-wide issue. There are people in blue states who have no clue about what's happening in Palestine. Let's be clear about that.
So I started reading all about it. And then when you see what happens, I have some friends in one girl that I play with, tennis with in Oklahoma City, and she is Palestinian. And I said to her one day after a tennis match, I said, hey, Ines, where are you from? She goes, oh, I'm from Palestine originally. And I just put my hand on her shoulder and I said, I'm so sorry for what's happening to your country. And she started crying. She said, you're the only person in this entire state that has acknowledged what's happening to my homeland. She goes, and I never cry. And so I thought, this is pretty up. So I read about it. And it's a genocide. It just is. And you either believe in universal human rights or you don't.
Where does your concern for the Palestinians and this issue come?
That's facts, though. It's pretty cool, man.
The party really, and helped even to get him into that role and appointing him incredibly close ties with Epstein to the point where they were, he was taking money from him. It just, we don't know because there's so many redactions in the US files, like how much even closer Epstein was to our own government and why his lawyers were asking the NSA and the CIA for proof of affiliation between Epstein and those agencies.
Yeah. If you look at the things that the article that I had up, these are the folks that some of in the United States, right? We have Thomas Pritzker, we talked about, stepped down as the executive chairman of Hyatt. Catherine Kathy Rumler resigned, Goldman Sachs top lawyer, right? General counsel. Okay, again, titans of business. But then as you get down to other countries, you have the Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, resigned, the chairman and CEO of the DP World. Benjamin Wegg, professor, resigned as CEO of Global Counsel. As you mentioned, Peter Mendelsohn, he did not survive his senior role, did not survive his senior role as Epstein-Link controversy escalated.
Peter Mendelsohn is
Tim Allen of the UK resigned as a Downing Street communications director. And then on and on and on, these people again, who are in government, and as I mentioned, not mentioned as much as Trump and other people, and they are suffering consequences. For here in the United States, I don't know what why people are allergic to consequences, especially for the person who's in the files, much more. Now, I know you don't have a crystal ball here. I'm wondering how this is going to play out in the media today, and also if you're hearing from the victims. I think this gives the victims.
So we can have watch parties. We could do all sorts of stuff over here. That's what's up.
Taxes, was chasing.
A lot.
Taxes.
We could do a lot here. Hey, Parker. What's up, Parker? Welcome in. Parker, I need some help. I need you to let me know. First, can you hear me now? Can you hear me right now? It looked like my mic is working. And also, if you could hear the audio from the video that I'm playing as well.
You've been promised incredible things with AI, but has it actually lived up to all the hype? I can promise you.
Let's bring in ABC News Royal contributor Victoria Murphy. And Victoria, thank you for joining us this morning. We saw the palace just put out a statement.
Belinda, can you guys, hey, Belinda, what's up? Okay, Belinda, can you guys
Good morning,
hear
Michael. Well, I mean, absolutely huge news this morning, and we've just heard from the King in the past few minutes. We heard about the arrest a couple of hours ago, but the King has just released a statement in his own words, which, let's be clear, is much more personal than one just from Buckingham Palace. And I do think that that was warranted because people need to hear from him. There's been quite mixed feelings generally about how the royals have handled this, and this is his brother on the Sandringham estate. And in this statement, he says that he's learned of the arrest with deepest concern. And he also said, as James said, let it clearly, the law must take its course, really spelling out there that authorities are going to handle this as they would with anyone else, which I think is very important for the palace to emphasize. I think really key also, Michael, at the end of his statement, he says, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all, really emphasizing, I think, their approach that has been to keep calm and carry on with their official duties. But I'm not sure to what extent that is really working at all to move the narrative in any way away from Andrew.
Yeah, because we've seen the families try to distance themselves from former Prince Andrew over the last few years. I mean, what more do you feel like they could do or could have done in that regard?
Well,
I could do this all day, y'all. This cool. This got a good feel to it, and I'm feeling more comfortable. The first time I used YouTube, I wasn't as comfortable. But yeah, this is cool. This is cool. I won't be on for a long time today. I just came up to kind of test. But this is cool. Let's watch this. I love the majority.
So you want to see how Fox News is handling the release of the Epstein files and Donald Trump's cover-up? They'll never lay the blame on Donald Trump, even, any conservative media, even if they're breaking with the administration, even if they're critical of it. Go all the way up to like Candace Owens and Tucker, who it's very overplayed how they're breaking the conservative movement apart and they're going in an entirely different direction. They still won't criticize Trump.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Same thing. I mean, she does a little, but it's all about their
He's being held hostage by the people around him.
Right. Even when she acknowledges that he was like completely duplicitous to her and used.
That's true. And I've said that. See, guys, like everything that we say over there, these like people saying on major platforms as well. It's like, I always say that. It's like, they're scared. They stop short of criticizing Trump. Like they all stop short. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, she stopped short of actually saying, hey, Trump might have done some things, they stop short of actually withdrawing their support from Trump. It's always what the people around him are doing. So
her, and the impulse right now with conservative media to make yourself the main character in every story is really annoying. Just if you pay attention to it, notice Candace Owens is doing it, Marjorie Taylor Greene's doing it. It's about, like, I don't know, selling a narrative to people. When you're selling a conspiracy theory that doesn't really challenge power, you make it a story. It might be easy. It makes it easier if you make yourself the main character. But that's digression.
And you can't really go at the king. I mean, it's like when Francis Bacon had Bacon's Rebellion, he was rebelling against the authority of the monarch, but said he was actually doing it because the king didn't understand how bad things had gotten in the colonies.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the dynamic.
I wonder if it's like a moral compass thing, because I know what guides me is like, I have a moral compass. I have integrity. I have principles that I won't falter. I won't let falter for anyone. So even if the situation was reversed and this was Obama, and I liked Obama, that's my favorite president, I wouldn't stop short of criticizing him. I've criticized him for bailing out the banks. I've criticized him for using one too many drone strikes. It all boils down to, like, does the right have moral integrity? Do they have a moral compass that guides them? Or do they depend on Donald Trump and other leaders in the Republican Party to form their moral compass? That is, at the end of the day, what it all boils down to, in my opinion.
Here, Trump's like a deity to these people, so they avoid it at all costs. But and by all costs, I mean the cost of, say, like defending pedophilia or downplaying, I should say, pedophilia and Jeffrey Epstein on Fox News. Here is a clip from The Five with two just men I would not want to be alone in the room with, Greg Gutfeld
meet his wife again?
and Jesse Waters. Oh, don't you worry. I have that story on memory. She's named Emma, unfortunately. She was an intern for him when he was married to somebody else at Fox News, and he tells a really fun story about how he got her to go on a date with him by letting the air out of her tires and not telling her in the Fox News parking garage.
Looks like you need a ride.
Forced to get a ride with him.
That adds up with what he's about to say.
Yeah, here he goes.
It looks like he's mostly just a fixer, a guy who advises. He helps people with their problems. Sometimes those problems are, you need a girl or some penicillin, or some. If you need it, he's got it.
He's a sex rabbi.
You should perform at the halftime show next year. Yes. It looks like.
Sorry, I don't follow the halftime.
That's a callback. They've been riffing like for like a week on a Jewish halftime show. I don't fully understand, but this has like been a running joke with The Five.
Well, because that was pretty anti-Semitic from Greg Gutfeld. Exactly. Gotta say, sex rabbi,
a fixer. Like, I'm sorry, why is that exculpatory? He's a fixer who's advised. I mean, high level.
Just a fixer. That's a wild statement.
Of both parties about things, not only and also just the capitalist class, about not only like underage women, but also like who they should put in charge of various agencies. It's an absolute and why him?
The fact that he's a fixer says nothing. I mean, that's true.
It's the problem.
I mean, that's what the whole blackmail operation was inextricably tied to.
Yeah, that's why he.
And you know what else I think, and I'm guilty of this too. I think we create this, kind of like this shield for MAGA by saying, well, they're in these echo chambers. Like, this is the news that they get. This is the news that they watch. As if that somehow absolves them from looking at this with clear eyes. But at the end of the day, you're going to go to the news that aligns with your values. So I don't think that it's an excuse to be like, well, they only watch Fox News and they're being brainwashed and they don't get the news that we get. And it's like, well, we have a responsibility to not only seek out the truth, right, and make and let the truth shape our perspective, but also, you can't, if you're scared to go to other sources of the news, you're going to go to the news that more aligns with the values that you already have. They're looking for validation to confirm what they already believe. They're not letting Jesse Waters dictate what they believe. They're going to Jesse Waters because they think similar. Yeah, we got to stop saying that, because it is also still their responsibility to go out and get the truth, just like we all have. And the reason why I go to places like here, the Majority Report, is because they're saying things that align with the things that I go to Fox News like as an investigative journalist, you know. I don't go to Fox News. I go to Fox News knowing that they're gonna lie, knowing that they're gonna work the truth, and knowing that they're gonna defend Donald Trump. So I go there to listen to what they're gonna say. I don't let Fox News shape my opinion. So we can't continue to let the people that do go to Fox News for the news to get away with this idea that, like, well, this is their news, so if we could only get them the truth. It's like, nah, the truth is there for them to get. They choose to reject it because they're more aligned with Fox News.
I don't know.
Isn't it incredible to see them do just like straight? The rabbi thing was just straight up anti-Semitic, but they won't touch the Israel. They will call any like actual factual analysis of his connection to the state of Israel anti-Semitic, but they'll just do random anti-Semitic jabs on I mean, even that riff that you're talking about, a Jewish halftime show.
I remember what it was. It was that they're doing their Nazi thing where they were talking about what demographic of the country is Latino versus Jewish, and they're I don't know what it was. Something about having a Jewish halftime show to represent all the Jews in America.
Okay, well, I'm
got
sorry,
very
but
anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
All the things
I can answer that question for them. The Latino population is larger than the Jewish population in America. I can answer that question pretty definitively. I don't why does every piece of media need to be for you? This is about Bad Bunny,
Right.
but I mean, you've been centered your entire life as a white person. It shows like a complete insecurity and lack of imagination that you can't appreciate art that isn't directly geared towards you.
See, she just said it. That's exactly what I was saying, right? Like, they look for media that is geared towards them. It's not that the media that they consume is shaping that. I just said it. Early risers shit right there, man.
Amazingly entitled point. But on the Epstein thing, I mean, I guess that's their new tactic. How is it possible, though, for you to pivot that hard from engaging in the Epstein conspiracism when it benefited Republicans electorally to get people all in the tizzy, to now basically saying that it's not NBD? And I mean, and the reality is that the geriatric Fox News audience probably doesn't even care about the story at all.
No.
Like, who are they even talking to? They just shouldn't talk about Epstein at all. It doesn't matter to their viewers. They just care about their tax cuts. And if they get to see some brown people's heads cracked and then like, oh, my trans granddaughter is really pissing me off, and this white guy's going to say why she's a dumb blue-haired bitch or whatever. Like, that's your guys' role. That's your guys' role. They don't care. The Fox News viewers don't care about Epstein. That's for younger conservatives, and that's where they
don't care about justice. They don't care about principles, morals. They don't care about any of that. They want to see the things that rile them up, and that's why they go to Fox News. It's not the other way around. That's why they go there. They go there for the content that's going to validate their preconceived notions and opinions that they already have. They don't go there to get their opinion shaped.
That's where there's actual political opportunity here, is driving young men or young conservatives away from supporting the Republican Party. And I saw that Rogan had to confront the Epstein thing just like a little bit. And we play the clip from that account that I've now been checking out.
Too lazy to try. Yeah.
Just to keep tabs on Rogan. And his latest thing is just like, this is my least favorite conspiracy theory of all of them because it's just so hard. Like, he doesn't want to, he's acting like emotionally put upon for all of the horrors that he would have to read into the files, and he doesn't want to even go there at this point.
That's why aliens are much more fun to talk about, because that's not.
By the way, Joe Rogan interviewed and platformed I think they said like 17 people that are in the Epstein file. So he is clearly has an investment in the people that are in the Epstein files. That's why he doesn't want to talk about it.
A real thing.
Well,
I don't know. Ask Obama.
I asked Obama. Matt, you never responded to my DM.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
I asked you what your thoughts were about Obama saying aliens were real on Brian Tyler Cohen's podcast, which makes me even more convinced of the theory that all of this is some psyop to deflect from military technology.
Hey, folks, don't forget.
I don't know, y'all. Obama didn't say that aliens were real. I'm seeing more and more people say that he said that. He didn't say that. He didn't. I wish he did say that. I think aliens are real. He didn't say that though. What happened was Brian Tyler Cohen asked him what was he most excited about when he got elected? Like what was he most excited about to get into the White House? And he said the aliens, to see the aliens. And he laughed about it. And he didn't confirm nor deny, though I will say that he didn't confirm nor deny if he had ever actually seen the aliens or saw that there was evidence that intelligent life does exist outside of our planet. He didn't say one way or the other, but I see why people are saying that he said that, but he didn't necessarily say that. He didn't. To be fair, he didn't say that. I wish he did. I want to know. I've been saying that for a long, like, man, because I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is an alien and all of these people are aliens. But everyone is saying that he said that. He didn't. Obama never said that aliens exist. What he said was that that's what he was excited most about finding out about when he got elected, which is kind of like he's just a regular guy. Like that's what it would have been anybody's thought process. Trump actually alluded to the fact that there were aliens in his first term. If anybody did, it was Trump. Trump was like, oh, if you knew what I knew about UFOs, he said that on camera, but Obama didn't say that. It does make you think because, okay, y'all we could do conspiracy theory. We could do conspiracy theories on YouTube. There's a book that I have called the three body problem. And Obama, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is wearing a human skin suit. There's a book though called The Three Body Problem, and Obama was like a raving he was like saying that this book was like this is a great read, and like when the book first came out, Obama was hyping the book up. He was like, this is such a great book. And the book is about an extraterrestrial takeover. Like they were trying to take over Earth. I have the book. I read it. They also made the book a Netflix special, and Obama was an executive producer of the Netflix show that they had. It's on Netflix now. It's called the three body solution. So I guess like if you take that with what he said on Brian Tyler Cohen, it's not. I don't know. It would make sense that he sees something. He saw something that but he was like he had his like, but like Obama's a reader. He's a reader. Yeah, the three body solution is good. And I'll say another conspiracy theory, right? The show wasn't good to me. I started watching the show. I never finished the show. I don't even have Netflix anymore, but I didn't really like the show like that. The show wasn't great. The book was pretty good. In the book, there were like this alien species from another planet was like the humans on Earth are advancing far too fast. By the time we get there, we won't be able to take it over because they'll have the same technology that we have now by the time we get there. Let's send some information there to kind of stagnate their growth. And it's wild because if you look at like our research in physics, it's pretty much has been at a standstill since like the 70s or the 80s. Like there hasn't been any breakthroughs since the 70s. I will argue since Albert Einstein's general relativity theory in the early 1900s, in like 1916, he published that. Maybe 1919, but somewhere in between 1916 and 1919, he published the general relativity theory. I don't like, you could say like maybe Stephen Hawking with defining gravity or radiation, the radiation that comes from black holes and finding black holes for the first time. Those things I think are relevant, but we haven't made any real breakthroughs. We thought with the Large Hadron Collider that we will find a breakthrough then. We found the Higgs boson in 2011, but as far as like major breakthroughs that would advance us, we haven't made any jumps, any leaps since the 70s, and that was with quantum physics. So that is a wild coincidence that, like, in this book they were like, yeah, we gotta send some information to stagnate them, and we have been stagnated. So basically, Tim's have nah. Parker, we saw this. It was like an orb, and this has been verified. There was footage from a drone of an orb flying super fast, doing things that no technology that we know about can actually do. And they another drone shot a Hellfire missile at it. The Hellfire missile hit it directly, and it didn't. This orb did not even break stride. Like, it just continued like nothing. A Hellfire missile could collapse a building. It would blow any aircraft that we have. It would have blew it out of the air. It would have blew it straight out of the air. This thing just kept going like nothing happened. They have footage. They presented that footage to Congress. So I don't know if we can continue to, like, I don't know. A lot of people think it's like just very advanced military equipment that they just don't want other countries to know that we have. I don't know. I don't know that. Like, the reason why I don't buy into that is because the physics that we have, that, like, this thing is defying the physics as we know it. Like, we don't even have the science to back up how these things can be able to do it. Like, it's going from the air into the ocean and then back into the air again. Like, we don't even have physics that can back that up. Like, even like Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the probably the smartest person living right now. Well, I think Michio Kaku, to be honest, but a lot of people would say that Neil deGrasse. Well, I'm still mad about Pluto. So I'm biased. Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's smart. I don't even think he would be able to explain how that's even possible. Yet we have video footage of things doing that. So does the military have access to physics that we haven't yet uncovered? That'll be the only thing. Yeah, I'm pissed about Pluto. I remember my son was going on a field trip into this science museum, and I let him know first. I said, listen to everything that they're saying, like, listen to your teachers or whatever, except when they tell you that Pluto is no longer a planet. It's 9 planets. I told my son, I said, it's 9 planets. They're gonna tell you it's 8 planets, but it's not. It's 9. And never let nobody tell you different. So bad parenting, probably, but I'll stand on the fact that Pluto should not have been demoted as a planet, and I'll stand on that. But I'm gonna head out, guys. I could do this though. Yo, I could do this all day, to be honest. Like, this setup right here, I could do this all day. So I'll be back, and I'll go a lot longer. I just want to make sure that I don't get lazy and not work out and end up not working out. So I'm gonna end this stream now, but this we can do. We could do this. We could do this for a long time. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for helping, testing out the audio, testing out the stream. Maybe one day I'll get a subscription to StreamYard so we don't got to see this duck in the corner, and I can see the comments actually on the screen. But this I can do. This is cool.